We have to begin with this. The developing story out of the White House as new details emerge about President Trump's possible economic stimulus plan to combat a virus-led downturn in the economy. Let's get right now to Eamon Javers at the White House with more on how this is all developing right now. Eamon.
Brian, we are about a half an hour out from a White House press briefing that is slated to include the vice president and the coronavirus task force. Now, aides throughout the evening last night and the day today have suggested that that could be a place where the president might roll out some of his economic ideas, but we are not hearing that at this point. There is no plan as of right now, this moment, a half hour out, for the president to attend that briefing. So the president last night said that today he would hold a news conference to roll out major economic initiatives that would be dramatic in scope. So far today, we have not heard any official confirmation of any of those. The president has not held such a news conference, and we don't know whether he's coming to this 5:30 news conference or not. So keep an eye peeled for that in the bottom half of this hour. Meanwhile, we are getting some details about what the president's been saying to lawmakers up on Capitol Hill, including that the president pitched them behind closed doors on the idea of eliminating the payroll tax altogether, a 0% rate on the payroll tax from the employer side and the employee side through the end of the year. And I'm told in that room there behind closed doors with Senate Republicans, there was also some discussion of eliminating the payroll tax altogether. Now, that would carry an enormous price tag, more than $1 trillion, a huge amount of money, and also has implications for Social Security and Medicare, because that's where a lot of those funds are earmarked. Ultimately, will that be too big an ask for Capitol Hill is a really important question here. So I don't think we should leap to the conclusion that that's a done deal, Brian. But those are the kinds of ideas they're kicking around here at the White House now. No official proclamation of what the president's plan is, though, at this point. Yeah, and it sounds like maybe there's some disagreement if we haven't had anything come out yet, although we're going to find out. And Eamon, I mean, listen, if we did a 0% payroll tax, to your point, that is the 9 comma club. I mean, that is the $1 trillion club. It's enormous.
And that's Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So ostensibly, the consumer would get the break, but at some point, the government would have to probably issue another $1 trillion in debt to pay that, because that gap has to be made up. Right. So I asked a White House official, how are you going to pay for that? If you're proposing to eliminate the payroll tax, not just for the year, but indefinitely, this official said, hey, why are we always asked how we're going to pay for things? Taxes are our money to start with. Why do we have to pay for keeping our own money, essentially, was his argument. That's how this White House is approaching this question right now. But politically, it's a big, big number, Brian, and you wonder whether Congress is going to go there or go all the way to what the president wants. The president is obviously in a go big or go home mode right now on this idea. I know it's not popular entirely among members of Congress, Republicans included, not entirely popular among the president's own staff necessarily, but the president did pitch it today, so we'll see where it lands. Yeah, we know that powerful Senator Richard Selby also said that he came out on Twitter and suggested that they do an infrastructure package as well, something we've been waiting on for about 4 years. Eamon Javers. One more thing real quick, Brian. I am told they are considering some federal aid here for the shale oil industry. They're saying it's not going to be a bailout. They're not guaranteeing that they're going to do it, but that conversation is happening behind closed doors also because of what we've seen in the oil markets this